Responsible for a third of Canada's primary energy production, Saskatchewan has a wealth of oil, natural gas, coal, and uranium. But we are not content to rely on our rich natural resources. Saskatchewan is developing better ways to create and use energy. The province is at the forefront of sustainable energy technologies like carbon capture and storage, clean coal generation, biofuels, and wind power. Increasingly, the world is turning to nuclear energy as an important tool to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Supplying almost a quarter of the world's uranium, Saskatchewan is well positioned to satisfy this growing need. There are no simple answers to climate change, but Saskatchewan is developing the options to make us a world leader in sustainable energy, now and into the future. Researchers predict that carbon capture and storage may provide as much as half of all emission reductions needed for the world to stabilize greenhouse gas levels. The Petroleum Technology Research Center in Regina manages the largest scientifically monitored carbon storage project in the world.
In the Weyburn and Mydale fields, 40 million tons of CO2 will be stored underground, which is equivalent to removing 8 million cars off the road for a year.
The PTRC is also working on a new area of carbon storage research, storing CO2 in deep saline aquifers. They will capture carbon dioxide from Consumers Cooperative Refinery in Regina and store it in an underground aquifer. Experts believe deep saline aquifers could be the largest opportunity for carbon storage in the world. A challenge with capture and storage is cost. The International Test Center for Carbon Dioxide Capture at the University of Regina is recognized as a world leader in developing efficient, cost-effective technologies to capture CO2. As interest in carbon capture grows, international demand for the test center's expertise is increasing.
In terms of carbon capture and storage, we have large sources, but we also have some of the best storage capacity in the world. So if there's a good place to do it, to test it, to demonstrate it, and do it safely and economically, Saskatchewan's the place.
Working with ITC, the governments of Montana and Saskatchewan are planning a large-scale project. Up to 900 tons of CO2 a day will be captured from an existing coal-fired power plant in Saskatchewan and piped to Montana, where it will be stored and monitored. The $270 million project is an example of the coordinated research endorsed by Canadian and American governments. Coal provides more than 40% of the world's electricity, but the environmental impact is a growing concern. Saskatchewan has initiated one of the first and largest integrated clean coal demonstration projects in the world. Sask Power, the provincial electric utility, launched a project to retrofit an existing coal-fired generation unit with carbon capture technology.
This equipment will be used to capture and isolate the carbon dioxide that's in the exhaust stream. That carbon dioxide will then be compressed and put into a pipeline. The emissions don't go up into the air, the emissions actually go underground. If we're successful with this, it can apply to approximately half of the world's electricity generation. That's pretty exciting.
31 countries, including the United States, France, Japan, and Canada, depend on nuclear energy to generate electricity. Saskatchewan is home to the world's richest uranium deposits. Those deposits are used to generate 6% of the electricity in the U.S., enough to power New York City.
Uranium is a good investment because it provides clean, safe, reliable, and secure energy.
With 436 operating nuclear power plants and an additional 44 under construction, worldwide demand for uranium will continue to increase. Within the next 10 years, Saskatchewan expects to double uranium production and explore value-added opportunities.
From Saskatchewan's perspective, because we are such a dominant supplier of uranium to the nuclear industry, the demand for the product that we make is going to be considerable.
Saskatchewan's energy diversity includes renewables such as hydro, geothermal, and wind.
One of the main charms of wind power is it's a way to generate electricity with no emissions and a very low impact on the environment. Wind power developed in Saskatchewan so far is about 172 megawatts. That represents about 5% of the total installed generating capacity in our province, and that's actually one of the highest ratios across Canada.
Interest is growing in using biofuels to reduce greenhouse gases emitted by the transportation sector. Saskatchewan is the second largest biofuels producer in Canada and a center of expertise in environmentally friendly processes. With close to half of Canada's cultivated farmland, Saskatchewan will be a major supplier of biofuels. Addressing climate change is one of the most profound challenges facing the world today. Blessed with a rare diversity of energy resources, unmatched experience, and technical expertise, Saskatchewan is well positioned to meet that challenge, providing a clean energy mix that is the best in the world and best for the world.